understand it all, yeah. Ain't no hesitate, we just make it pay. Paint them cushions in those corners, no it isn't safe. But for my sake, will you save it all? Cause you'll do the same to my heart, yeah. Late model princess got me going crazy, and she got them wings and never wing it down. Late model princess, yeah, she makes me listen when they're dirty and they got you hot and bottom. Late model princess, yeah. Oh man, with that body rotten. Late model princess, yeah. See, I like the day and you know what you are, I know what I am. You a little late model star, and I'm a spring come here. You float the middle size, I'ma take your time and blow it. I'm a little bit of ghetto with that, send it then you'll know it. And I gotta get to going now, gotta catch me that eye. My mode is always slide or die, it's all the seize the moment's time. But while the clock keeps ticking by, you keep on talking on my mind. I'm contemplating situations where you could be all of mine, cause you're that late model princess, got me going crazy. Yeah, she got them wings and never wing it down. Late model princess, yeah, she makes me listen when they're dirty is more than one way to go. But which way are you going? Is it the right way or the long one? Hey, I'm walking the hard path, but God's on my side, shielding my life, so I'm just a nomad. Dealing with demons, the streets of the night, holding the deeds that are left for the kind, laying to rest evil thoughts in your mind, making you think about more than yourself, making that ego come out straight to hell. Boy, to feel alone, 'cause I'm old and I'm selfish. For the bang, the wild, the flower, the roots, the judge and the few. Deceivers, they come out the woods for them wounds. Receivers, they see them as special, cause we've been redeemed by the ones in the battle reserved for the truth. And they don't wanna talk, cause they see the way we walk it. Yeah. Don't say what you heard, cause you know that I hold my ground, my way. Cause I'm bad, doing things that just That's right, ladies and gentlemen, because we're bad. Oh my, we're bad. Oh, we are bad. We got the hat backwards tonight. We're so bad. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this hat backwards on your boy. Oh my God. Dude, this is the new look. This is the new look right here. Hat backwards. Looking stylish. Oh yeah. Well, we're about to go chip a old block in the woods, if you know what I'm saying. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying. Music down, lights off. The white hats backward. Oh my God. White hats backward. Oh, there's like 7 different meanings in that statement, believe it or not. But I am liking this backwards hat look. This may be the future. You kind of even see the receding hairline. I mean, it's pretty bad, but hey, it's halfway covered up. It's looking good to me. Today's video, today's show is going to be, maybe we should designate it. If you see the live playing and my hat is forward, we're mainly talking about racing. But if you see my video and my hat's backward, then we might be talking about, real shit, which is what I plan on talking about today. There is some huge developments. Obviously, the audience that's, all about Kyle Larson and, who's going to win between the High Limit and World Outlaw War. Y'all are going to be lit down today because we're not going to be talking about the distraction. And I almost feel like I need to apologize. I had some people with some of my content I've been sharing and talking about here recently. I have some people that I guess are kind of new to the show in a way. I feel like new is the way to describe it because they're like, Chaz, I watch your stuff for insight in racing and all this political and real world and things that matter. This is not what I signed up for. Well, I guess you have missed our content since 17. Because from 2017 until now, we have always talked about everything. Yes, racing is the centricated idea and platform. Racing is the platform. That's where we're or our home base is motorsports. But I've never
since 2017, closing in on 10 years here soon. What is that, 7 years? We have never came on here and when things happen in the world, ignore them or restrict an opinion or a thought. Every election cycle we have dived into head first with what we believe, which is a top-down structure. And I've always said I think politics is a show. I'm scared to ponder how much of a show or the degrees that the show will go to due to what we are seeing here recently. I'm very worried about that now that they're starting to show you some show. But we've always talked about these things. Was anyone around during COVID watching the Chaz? Like, was anyone around? I mean, we literally traveled across the country with travel restrictions in place. We were racing during COVID, surprisingly. In New York, we raced with no fans in the stands. But also during COVID, they had the whole George Floyd deal pop off, which was the most hypocritical display of restrictions in the world's history. 6 feet in a mask turned into rioting and everything. But we were also in California when COVID popped off and when George Floyd popped off. And a group decided to take over the downtown area of Seattle and call it the Chaz. When we were in California, we then drove up to the captured city of Seattle, known as the Chaz, and went to the Chaz, where Black Lives Matter had taken over, with a cowboy hat on and a long-sleeve shirt and jeans. I brought my Long Live the Chaz stickers and displayments and fortunately or unfortunately, the first person I ran into when I first walked in there was the guy who took over the whole damn city, the Raz or whatever. There was a damn picture on CNN on Twitter of me and this Raz guy talking to one another, with me in my cowboy hat and him in his red jacket and dreads. They were trying to use it as a symbolism of peace or whatever, to use the cowboy white guy and the black dude to show like this is not as bad as Fox News is portraying it. It was more leaning towards the CNN's side that this was just a peaceful protest, upset community that threw down cinder blocks and took over a city. That's a whole nother discussion. I did respect the game, though. Hey, finally somebody stood up and said, hey, well, fuck y'all. We're gonna stand our ground. That's a whole nother discussion if you want to talk about anti-establishment ideologies and what your rights are to display those upsetness things. But, and by the way, the Chaz thing was, I felt like I was at a state fair. They had like vendors set up and concerts and everything. It felt very organized. But regardless, that happened. COVID happened. We went to PA and stood with Ron Rutherford as he kept selling pizzas against the government and videoed it and talked about it. And we've made music based around people losing their businesses. We've always talked about different topics. The Larson N-word stuff. I mean, that was the one time y'all sort of got political, was when your boy was thrown into the ring. But we talked about this stuff. What was it, the last election cycle when Trump said the cats and dogs were being eaten and all that? We researched it, showed the facts, tried to break some strings on the psyop. So I don't want to hear you people coming in here and saying, this is not why I signed up. Well, motherfucker, I've been here for 7 years doing whatever the fuck I want to. And politics, unfortunately, in our racing community, is rejected but accepted. It's something we don't want to involve in the sport, but it's something y'all involve your entire life around. And that's all we see on your Facebooks and your social interactions. You don't socially talk about many other things outside of racing except politics. Now, this situation that has happened here recently, where we all saw a live execution or assassination, however you want to describe it, which I was with everyone on the assassination side, but at this point, it is leaning towards the other side of the factual pendulum. It's actually looking very scary. Um, it's almost got that COVID vibe, where how can we sit back and let them do this, if that makes sense? Like, I was very against the COVID situation. I legitimately, rejected it, thought it was stupid. Oh, come on, America. You care about our health and our safety, but you're putting all these known chemicals and poisons and canceristic things in our food supply and saying it's okay. You knowingly kill us all the time, but now you care if we live or die. Or did you really just want that Social Security to fall off? You noticed it was like the first disease of human history where the elderly passed away, but the young were safe. Why? Oh, the future taxpayers were safe, but the older people who had paid their taxes throughout their life and was drawing from Social Security, that's the people that passed away, right? That's how business thinks when you're in their department. But at the same time, you care so much, but you kill us all the time. It's just, it blew my mind. Blew my mind. But this is a very similar instance where this Charlie Kirk thing has occurred, and we're being fed this narrative. And anyone speaking against the narrative is this horrible individual. Anyone with their back against the wall against the entire world is the superficial bad guy, just as bad as the guy who apparently is the shooter. Once again, has not pled guilty. We're going to show you these things today. I did not know this. They're feeding us the TV screen, 6 feet masks, stay inside. That's why I think this is very similar, honestly. It's not a physical restriction, it's a mental one. Your strength in your life is your mentality. I've said that from day one as well, if you haven't watched the show. That's why I talk about the psyops within our racing industry. Like co-trickles and shit. I say this stuff. Why? Because it's got facts to it. It's got your investment, your attention, your decision-making skills, what you believe is and what you believe is not. It's based on this mental restriction. So, at the end of the day, this thing is getting crazy. I just self-censored. And there's a reason I self-censored, because, hey, you never know. You never know. At the end of the day, this is a very scary episode. These things that are happening, we are not going to let them go. We're not going to move on. We're going to continually talk about this as this develops, and we're going to give you some reasons as to why. We should, you should, because if they come and get your speech first, they're going to be coming for everything else next. That's the first line. They already got you. Your freedom of speech is already restricted based on your insecurities currently. So many people in the world go outside and their mind and opinions change based on the social acceptance of people around them. This is the insecurity psyop to begin with. The outdoor you versus the indoor you. The private versus the public personality. So you're already mentally restricted. And that mental restriction is based on social acceptance and personal insecurity that the world has groomed you to feel and have these insecurities and thoughts and feelings about. Mental restrictions. That's technically why speakers even exist. Because they're just saying what you're afraid to. It's a very interesting game, very smart, to be honest. You don't tell the boss to take this job and shove it anymore. Too afraid. Too afraid. But anyway, Let's look at the chat. What are y'all saying? This is a big show. The white hat's backward. The white hat's backward, and we may lose every hat we got, but hey, it's a white hat. Anyway, we're going to the chat. What's the chat saying? Dustin, I do the opposite for what the government says. It has worked out fine for me. You're an Australian, Brett. You don't even matter in this conversation. I just scroll past Brett. No, I'm just kidding. Educate us, Chaz. I took my daily dose of ivermectin. Don't listen to the government on anything, especially when it comes to your health and well-being. I feel like you're lying, Dustin. I do feel like you're lying. Oh, we do have a super chat. I can't read it on the screen, but I can read it with my eyes. Thank you for the super chat. Dustin Howard. Are you going to go down to 34 Raceway for the fall haul, Chaz? Should be some good 360 racing. Sad the season's about over. Is that this weekend? I have been thinking about, maybe a race this weekend. Is there somewhere to go? I'm not sure. Eric Smith says, Chaz, come to New Mexico to Vado or go to the Chili Bowl in 2026 so I can get a photo with you and give you a New Mexico beer. One of the reasons I want to go to Vado is to go to that Hatch Chili Company. I don't know if y'all have seen their damn advertisements on Facebook, but when that 505 or 805 or whatever the hell it is, chili company deal, that fresh Hatch Chili Company, I want to go up there and do a video or something. I need them as a sponsor. That's why I want to go to New Mexico for the chili, the green chilies, like a chili relleno. These are what the apparently badass chili sauces are. Hatch Chili, Hatch, New Mexico. I've looked into it because I've thought about going to Vado. I believe Hatch, New Mexico is like 30 or 40 minutes north of Vado, so I could do this. And personally, I have more intrigued to go to New Mexico and Vado because I haven't been. And Chili Bowl it's just a smash sardine deal. It can be fun. I get in fights when I get there. I get into drama. Caitlin Larson and me get into verbal assaults. This person gets mad. I get into it, but I do have fun there too. It's like a fucking roller coaster of a building for me. I've been kicked out there before for standing up to Kyle Busch in the building. It's a yin and a yang scenario when I go to the Chili Bowl, and it happens every year. I get trashed 1 minute. I turn around, walk down the next row, and it's, hey, we love you. It's a fucking like mental psyop in itself to go to the Chili Bowl for me. It always has. It always has. It always has. Look at the banner, all the bullshit. I don't know how to say it, but anyway. Honestly, it was planned because why don't you talk about the list, Chaz? Read me, please. I don't know what the 575 and 505 is great chili. 575 is in Hatch. Go to Sparky's. It's 30 minutes from. Sparky's is where he has the hamburger, right? And he pours the damn thing on the hamburger. It looks so good. It looks so damn good. It really does. Alex says, been a fan since the R Factor days. Wow. That's back. The R Factor days is why Kyle Larson calls me a good race car driver. Kyle Larson tried to beat me for years in the R Factor days, and he couldn't keep up. You know this, Alex, if you know. I was the man back then. And him and Chase Briscoe, Chris Bell, Kevin Swindell, Logan Seavey, all these guys, they tried to keep up, but they couldn't. They couldn't. That's why they call me a good race car. I was probably the first guy that Larson couldn't catch in racing. I was probably the first guy. That's probably why he still said that and remembered that with David Gravel in the interview. You can comment. You just have to be a subscriber. We did change it to where you have to subscribe to the channel to leave a comment. That is our one little bitty requirement. Hopefully that isn't too inconvenient. Anyway, we wanted to open the show. We want to welcome everybody for tuning in. It is a little late. I'm sure we're not going to have too many viewers, but we will overall. I plan on making a ton of clips out of this. This is going to be insane to me. This is a developing situation that's happening. But the biggest development of all situations is this one. Jimmy Kimmel is back. Jimmy Kimmel is back, and he is asking for the Epstein list. Listen to this. This is what he said on his show when he came back on his talk show last night. Look what happened here.
He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly. He might have to release the Epstein files to distract us from this now.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Everybody cheers. Now, what's funny about that is this. So this is a post by a very smart man. This was one of the intricate guys, or a very smart guy, who was involved with the David Gravel merchandise sector of the team on the Outlaw Tour. Not this year, but in years previous. Got to know him, got to have conversation with him. He's a very smart businessman. He says, stop talking about Kimmel. Start talking about Candace. They want us to talk about Kimmel. They don't want us to talk about Candace. Wake up. Now, this is a very interesting statement that was shared and said because, you know, when we talked about Candace the other day for the first time and her claims and the things she was saying, we got phone calls from some very prominent media individuals in the racing world. And they said, Chaz, you're just an idiot. You don't know your history. Although, I mean, we literally reference like pagan ritual. But they said Candace Owens is a fucking Holocaust denier, Chaz. That's how when he said it to me, that's how I heard it. She's a Holocaust denier. That's Shanae. That's how it came across to me. Like, what? No, she's not. No way, right? And you go look it up, and actually she is. Oh, my God. You look it up, you say, Candace Owens, Holocaust denier comments. Look at this. Even AI is bringing this stuff up. And what did the New York Post and all these people come out and we're referencing the New York Post just because maybe y'all will trust them. I don't know. When I say they, there's too many things to say, girl. That's why we're saying New York Post. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean by that, Shanae. But anyway, this is the prerogative. This is what was spread across mainstream news. This is what this very respected media member in the racing world called to tell me is that Candace Owens is a fucking Holocaust denier. That is what system is telling you. That's what the system is telling you. Because look, this is when I went to go look up her Holocaust denier comments. This is what we got. This is what keeps coming up. Holocaust experiments, bizarre propaganda, and latest anti-Semitic scandal. Because anytime you criticize Israel or their propaganda machine, you're anti-Semitic. This anti-Semitic word it's fucked up that the people who are doing a bunch of fucked off shit are even trying to reference the Holocaust or really Jewish people to pull off their fucked off shit. And then when you try to talk about their fucked off shit, they call you anti-Semitic and literally grift on these horrible things that happened to these people in World War II. Like, the modern example of some of the fucked off things that Israel and AIPAC and all these people do has nothing to do with what actually horrifically happened to people of the Jewish community in Germany. There is no line drawn. And for y'all to grift, to tie a string on to criticizing you today to that period of time is like anti-Semitic in itself, technically. You're the one being hateful by doing that action, by doing this form of grifting to self-excuse yourself from the horrible things you're doing, the manipulational tactics, the globalist. That's a hard word to say. The geopolitical things you do to try to tie a string to that when you are criticized for doing those things to the Jewish people is ridiculous, especially to the Jewish people from World War II. So, this Holocaust denier, this is what everybody's telling me. I come here and I'm trying to see what she actually said for people to just completely write her off. Write her off. She doesn't matter. She's a Holocaust denier. The PSYOP. You come down here, and she didn't. Here's some of the quotes. She calls some of the claims of the medical experiences or experiments that their Nazi doctors did as bizarre propaganda. The quotes here are, the Nazis experimented on innocent people. Some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd. If you've ever watched her, she kind of just rambles with thoughts and feelings on things. She continues and says, they just cut a human up and sewed them back together? Why would you do that? She's questioning. This is how she would deliver it. Literally, she goes on to say, literally, even if you're the most evil person in the world, that's tremendous. That's a tremendous waste of time and supplies. That just sounds like bizarre propaganda. And basically, what she's trying to say, I think, in this, is in that time period, in that war, they're trying to manipulate people into supporting, going up against the Nazis. Nazis are bad guys. Japan is bad guys. We're the good guys. Get on board. Why should we get on board? Well, they're doing this. They're doing the Holocaust. They're doing that and the other. But also, if that's not enough, you're still questioning, like, they're also, like, they're cutting up fucking humans, bro. And they're, like, sewing them back together and doing all this weird fucking experience shit. Like, they're just, like, completely mortifying bodies. You thought at the time they didn't know who Jeffrey Dahmer was, but motherfucker, these people are doing they're just experimenting on them. They're cutting them up. I think that's what she's saying. She's like, there could potentially be some exaggerated. I'm not saying. I mean, when I've looked into it, it's I think it's true. But she's saying, in her skepticism of Israel influence, even in that time period, and I think she probably, if you open this up, she's trying to, spur it into how we are somewhat suffering from modern propaganda in a way and demonizing people. When you go look into the Palestine situation, for instance, there's a lot of demonization there that is not really valid when you go and look into the facts of the scenario. So I think she's maybe trying to tangibilize the same thing. So maybe she's guilty in the same right, of trying to communicate strings. But I think what she's saying is there's potentially, even in that time period, some exaggerated statements that were being put forth that the Nazis were experimenting and doing all these things that were being said to the populace to get everyone on board to must stop Nazi people, which is, that's what propaganda is. I mean, and a lot of propaganda did run during the war times. Obviously, right? Like, the people serving the Nazis, fighting for their cause, had to be pretty fucking subjected to propaganda, correct? It's like, whose propaganda is true? Obviously, those people, 12 million people of the German population, was served such a damn good slice of propaganda that they literally attempted to go up against the rest of the world. That's some pretty damn good propaganda to really be backed up to the wall that and you're that tiny, and you're going to try to go up against everybody. Russia, United States, China, Australia, New Zealand, everybody. So propaganda is real. There's the evidence for it. The Nazi scientists doing these bizarre propaganda experiments on people, obviously, funny enough, ended up getting a pass. Wernher von Braun started NASA. He was over there, I guess, just standing by as they were cutting people up and sewing them together, right? Hell, he came over here and took us to the moon. The moon landing and everything. We got to the moon and everything. Y'all believe that, correct? Oh, we went to the moon. Right? So some of these people, with their horrible things that they conducted and acted, it was fine. Give them a hall pass or give them the fucking keys to the largest industries we got in American government history, like going to the moon. That's how much of a hall pass they got. Same thing with the Russians. They took half, we took half, whatever. I still have my little theory. Did they lose, or was that the takeover and they had to say they lost because they were such the bad guy? I mean, that's just who knows? Who knows? Chile, right? Chile. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know when she's making these statements, let's just say that she's denying the potential exaggeration of cutting up humans and sewing them back together, and she's saying, hey, guys, I think maybe that was bizarre propaganda. I think they were just exaggerating and, trying to make demonize the Nazis to the fullest degree so that the entire world wanted to go and stop whatever they were attempting to do. So they were using these gruesome examples. She's saying not true. I think they probably happened. I mean, weird people are weird people. I ain't going to say we're just as weird, but there's some interesting things when you look into what we have done as well. But I think that's what she's saying here. But here's the bigger problem. Is she denying the Holocaust? The person I'm speaking and said this is very well educated. Probably one of the most educated people in the racing world. And he called up and said, bitching me out, Candace Owens is a Holocaust denier. Candace Owens is not denying the Holocaust in these statements. This is what comes up when you look up Candace Owens Holocaust denier. It's her questioning the validity that, Nazi scientists cut humans up and sewed them back together. And she's labeling that as potential bizarre propaganda to invoke, like we've already repeated here like 6 times, invoke a need to go after the Nazis and take them down from the rest of the world. But that's not denying the Holocaust. That's a big fucking leap, is it not? That's a big leap. That's about as much of a fucking leap as the first COVID videos I saw come out from over there in China where people are running down the street, falling down and dying. That was the first clips we ever got. That's what COVID did. That's how it does. But then we get over here and we cough a little bit. Where is all the or older people are suffering? I know it's not fake. I know there's people that died from it, but where was all the people running down the street, falling over and dying? That sounds like a big leap from what we were shown versus what we actually saw happen, right? I don't think anyone in America experienced people running down the streets from this COVID deal, falling over and dying in the streets. Did we ever see anything close to that? But that's what we were shown. Propaganda, but that's what we were shown. So it's very funny. Propaganda being the cornerstone topic of this conversation right here. Here's the funny fucking thing. If you're calling me up and saying Candace Owens is a Holocaust denier, that is just as big of a jump. Because she comes on here and questions if they used propaganda during the war. That somehow jumps to she's denying the Holocaust. And I tried to search this up. I showed y'all. I typed it in here. I said, Candace Owens Holocaust Denier comments. It's not showing that she said anything else about the Holocaust at all. This is AI responding. And this is the only example that it's showing me, is that she questioned the validity of these bizarre experiments, the things we've been discussing here. I mean, I'm trying to find some other stuff, but they tied it in, like it says right here. Numerous critics, including the combat anti-Semitism movement, labeled Owens as full-blown neo-Nazi for her rhetoric and argued that it contributes to Holocaust denialism. Really? Why don't you go run down the street and fall over? Really? You see the leaps? You see the propaganda? This is propaganda. For that person to believe that Candace Owens is a Holocaust denier due to these comments, it's only because of the media machine that brainwashed them to believe, that's called propaganda, to believe that as a fact. I just laid out. She's saying there could have been some propaganda tactics back then. Did it happen? Did it not? Who knows? But that just sounds a little far-fetched. That's how she just rolled off the tongue with it. They took that all the way to Holocaust denial. They have a freaking combat anti-Semitism movement coming after her. They have multiple news outlets labeling her these ways over this comment. We have one of the smartest people in the media industry in dirt track racing believing she's a Holocaust denier based on these comments. That is dangerous. That is scary. That smart people can be had to that degree. Now, maybe there's some more comments. Maybe there's something else. But I've done the research. I'm looking for them. I can't find them. I can't find anything else. AI can't even tell me. And if those are the comments that's basing the world to call Candace Owens a Holocaust denier, that is propaganda. That, in of itself, is propaganda. And now you got to ask yourself, so why would they want propaganda against this entity? That must be an enemy. Oh, that could be bad. The enemy could be bad. Interesting, chat. Any responses to this? I'm curious if y'all have anything to say. Grift cost. Okay, my assets might be seized in a bullet. Let's see how far this podcast reaches. I don't know what you mean by that. Mimi. Oh my, the chat is having issues. In China, that's how it started. People on the streets and full of hospitals. I'm just saying, when COVID first kicked off, there was video shooting to us of people running down the streets, falling over and dying. I never visually saw any more clips after that looked anything like that. But that definitely scared you to stay at home. It definitely scared you to be like, oh, shit. Better listen to the TV screen on what to do. I don't want to be that guy. I didn't ever see anyone running down the street, falling over, dying. Did any of y'all ever see this anywhere besides that clip, besides that first shot of propaganda, in my opinion? I'm just saying. All right, we're going to take a quick little break here. Of course, we are live, but we're going to be taking a quick little break. We're going to come right back. I do have to use the restroom. That is what's happening. But we are going to be coming right back. We're going to get into what Candace Owens is actually saying, what's going on now. I just had to lay the foundation there on how propaganda actually works. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're almost there. We're coming. We're coming for you. And by the way, we are implementing music into these segments when we step away. This is Ready to Rip, the Chaz. All the music you hear is made by me. Enjoy. We'll be right back.
Ready. Rip. Praying to God, ready to rip. On my high, ready to rip. With that armor, ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ooh, yeah. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. I'm correct. A fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking and set. And being honest. Wearing my Hans and strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Hey, I jump on that track. Ready to roll. Ready to rip. Ready to reach. Place my bets. Hey, you never know when playing on hopes what you could achieve. Making the goal. Peace with the soul. Don't matter the bottle with what you believe. Cause if I'm taking it all in the calling, it's harder with nothing that's harder than free. Not giving up though. Don't trip. Gotta go. Take a slip. Make a pass in the low. Put it down on the gas for a show. Slide a pass in the grass for the opo. Got first, never last for the oh no. To the pass of the glass of the photo. Cause I'm gonna pass all you cowards with ease. And when them speeding demons come, we don't feast with the beast and the evil hunting lust. Burn your cheeks when I speak with my real passion, love. Turning all your tricks against you cause you're one and only master. Ready to God, ready to rip. On my high, ready to rip. With that armor, ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ready to rip. Hey,
I'm just glad I didn't get stuck on 35. What are you talking about? All right, Ready to Rip's going down. Ready to Rip's going down. That was a quick little break, a minute and a half, minute 24. That was fine, right? Let me have a little sip of a cup of cup. Is there really nothing? I put y'all back in y'all seat with that. Y'all had nothing to say. Wow. Y'all are actually scared of what we may be saying coming up here. Wow. Okay. Anyways, let's get into what Candace Owens has been saying recently, because this is where it does get very interesting. This is a post that caught my interest today. There is a comedian that I have been recently tuned into ever since she kind of showed the what was it the other day? She showed something very interesting about the Charlie Kirk deal. I couldn't remember what it is, but I was like, wow, really? So then I started following her, and really I haven't paid attention much. I kind of like, okay, move on. But this was posted today on her Instagram. Sara Holcomb Comedy is her Instagram. She actually is very popular on there. And does stand-up comedy. But, of course, the old, the reason the deck of cards has a joker in it is because that's like an old Babylonian agreement in the system, technically. That's why some of the most honest people that are allowed on the stage in the deck of cards are comedians. It's kind of like, you want to go full-blown in our game and tell the truth, you have to be a joke. Technically, you have to be a comedian. You have to. That's like, it's like I said, it's Babylonian. But she did make this post, and as you can read, she says, Candace Owens just proved Charlie Kirk was shot from the ground, not the roof. This was the beginning of her video. It went to the next screen. She asked if there were any tunnels with openings nearby, then found a large tunnel with a trap door right by the stage. Interesting. What's crazier about this statement is the next slide. This was asphalted over, this trap door and tunnel was asphalted over 3 days after the murder. Really? Really? Candace Owens proved Charlie Kirk was shot from the ground, not a roof, which is what a lot of people are thinking and saying right now, simply because of the exit wound scenario. From upward angle, there should be But if it was a downward angle going up towards the skull or some more stronger cartilage, maybe. But anyway, she asked if there were any tunnels, then found a large tunnel with a trap door right by the stage, and then 3 days later, they asphalted it over. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay, so then you have to ask yourself, what does she actually mean here? I did go to the comment section in this. It was very interesting, some of the comments that were made in this post. But one that caught a lot of people's eyes, about 5,000 people's eyes, as well as Sarah Holcomb, is a comment by Brian Smith 71237. It says, Tyler Robinson's parents are not listed in public records, but I found a connection to a family trust. Want me to look into that? The trust is linked to a shell company in Delaware. Delaware is an interesting state, by the way, the home of Biden, I do believe. This is getting interesting, he continues. The company is owned by a holding company called Trump Delaware Holdings, LLC. But it's not directly connected to him. It's connected to one of his associates. The associate is a businessman named Robert Mercer. He was a major Trump donor. So, a little bit of a curveball here in this scenario. I guess, not listed in public records, but I found a connection to a family trust, blah, 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 blah. Just, she didn't say this. Sarah Holcomb didn't say this. Candace Owens didn't say this. This is what one of the commenters said. It's again 5,000, close to 5,000 likes of this comment. Very interesting details of information in this. But what did Candace Owens actually say about this tunnel system? Maybe the comedian there, maybe, exaggerated herself. Did she actually say she found or what was the actual quote? Candace Owens just proved it. Did she actually prove it? What did Candace Owens actually say here in this this little clip? This is a clip that you can go find circling around on Facebook. Here's what she actually said.
There was a massive pipeline that was almost exactly behind where Charlie was sitting. Here's that maybe it's a water pipeline. I don't know, but there it is under the flag. And to your right, I went into my tips line and I saw that somebody had messaged me about this. More than one person messaged me about this. They're like, hey, yeah, there's like a whole underground thing there. And to your right, you're observing those two little boxes. And they told me that was a trap door. Now, I'm not implying someone, popped up and shot Charlie, but that's a close-up of that area. I'm just implying that there's an entire underground there. And I remember when I looked at the footage, I felt like it was coming up. I don't know anything about ballistics. I'm not an expert. But if there was a hatch door nearby, then we can assume, as we should always assume with colleges, obviously stadiums, there's always an underground path. So I'm wondering if the federal government has explored the possibility that somebody could have been under Charlie and done that while everyone's looking around and thinking that a shot went off from here, if that was just maybe like decoy number 2 and actually Charlie was shot from beneath him, which then could maybe explain why there was no exit wound. Again, I'm theorizing because I have a right to. I have a right to think. And that is interesting to me. Where does it go? Where do the tunnels underneath UVU lead to, right? That's an interesting question. Maybe everyone's looking up when we should be looking below.
Now, funny enough, according to Sarah Holcomb, that trapdoor and situation was asphalted over 3 days after the murder. According to this, what she's saying on her reel, or Instagram reel. We didn't see Candace Owens say that. So this is a claim, I guess, by her or rumors, something like that. Is that true? Is that not true? We don't know. Is it true that there is a a trap door within a vicinity area of a capable spot to do something to this degree. That seems to be like potentially true. And the problem with this is when we've looked at history, there have been instances, and this is why even she's saying, what about that? Have they looked into this? Have they looked into these and all these possibilities? It's because usually when there is some kind of organized hit on a public figure, the lone gunman explanation is used to kind of, like she's saying, maybe they got that guy there to distract where it actually came from. And it's more than just one person. It's always fed to us as there's one crazy guy, nutcase with a gun. He's crazy, and he just went and did a horrible, heinous act. That's how it's always fed to us. Even though, like, look into the JFK stuff, look into other ML. I mean, there's a list of situations throughout history where one guy was blamed, but it was actually an organized scenario, and the one guy was the scapegoat. The lone gunman theory was simply used to identify a decoy, while the person actually guilty runs away and doesn't get caught. That's the game, right? That's how they get away with it, you know, whoever they is. The John Wicks. It could be the John Wicks of the world. The John Wicks are very real guys. I mean, there are actual hitmen in the world. There are very elite level hitmen in the world. And who's to say? You know, maybe this was one of his jobs. Maybe this is how he did it. Maybe he psyoped the Tyler Robinson guy. Come and help me, just do this. And he's like the scapegoat as I pull. There's all these possibilities. It doesn't even have to be the CIA or Israel. It could be all these different possibilities of what about all these other things? So this brings up the deal, because obviously this Tyler Robinson guy, he's the lone gunman that is being portrayed as the one who has done it all. But, you know, we're not supposed to believe Candace Owens. We're not supposed to listen to Candace Owens. She's a Holocaust denier, and she's grifting towards this deal. Her and Charlie Kirk were never friends. She's only trying to do this because she's needing to get views recently because she's fell off the block. No one cares about Candace Owens. She's hasn't been relevant. She's only doing this and talking about this just to get, she's grifting. She's grifting the scenario. The problem with that, guys, is facts. Okay, so we're dealing with a fact-based scenario here. The things we're talking about is facts. Yes, there's opinions mixed in. When we're talking about this situation with a person dead and an accusation of who did it, and who could have and who could not, we're trying to come up with facts as close as we could get. Questionable facts, facts to think about, facts to look at. Here's this, here's that. Is there a trap door? Yes. Is it in the vicinity to pull something off like this? Yes. Was it asphalted over? That's why I went back and said, well, Candace didn't say that. This other girl said that. This is the fact. Sorry, that's not a fact. It could have happened. Did it happen? Is it a rumor? Who knows? But we're trying to deal with facts. And the fact of the matter is, you try to say Candace Owens is grifting to get attention and views over this scenario. Let me show you something. So, due to my, I guess, platform, work, profession, in the YouTube or social media domain, I have this thing called vidIQ. I actually should get sponsored by them now. And vidIQ goes into these channels and shows you what these channels actually make. So Candace Owens is broke and a bum and needs views to be able to survive. Let me show you something. Views gained, it's up 173%. Obviously, this situation is going to go up some, but 173% is really not a lot to go up in. We're going to get into this here very soon and show you what I mean by that. The estimated monthly earnings of her, Candace Owens, YouTube channel is $196,000 to $589,000 a month, simply on YouTube ad revenue a month. $200,000 to $600,000 a month. We need to do that times 12. Now, you may say, oh, well, that's just a spike. That's why the gap's so high. I mean, views fluctuate based on what's happening in the world and the things that are occurring. We experience it here on racing. Is my views going to be higher during the Knoxville Nationals versus the late model Nationals? Well, duh. Things are more so probably going to happen during the Knoxville Nationals than the Knoxville late model Nationals. That's just how this shit fluctuates. That's what happens. But we can actually, with vidIQ, go into the analytics of her consistency. Did she fall off the block and grifted to this scenario to get some credibility and some new blood? Obviously, 173%. Once again, this is like a big thing happening. So that's kind of a natural progression or gain. 44 million views. So this is her graph of her YouTube channel since it began. Okay? That is consistency. Okay? So look, started off there March 2024, instantly got up in April, 1 million video views, May, 1 million video views, and then spiked up, probably put more effort. By July, she was at 50 million video views in 1 month. 54, dipped to 28, things happen. 64 million in October, 84 million in November. Of course, this is the election year. See how the spike works. And then look, consistency after the election, 48 million, 51, 57, 46, 53. This is into 2025 here. Or 46, 53, May 47, June 54, July 62. Okay, so she's making $200,000 to $600,000 a month in here. This is before Charlie Kirk. Obviously, she's always kind of had an issue with Israel. But the consistency here, there's no big like drop in the graph here. This isn't falling off the block and needing this to happen and turning on Charlie Kirk and using and grifting to spike. Now, it's probably going to spike. I mean, it's probably going to spike. I mean, it's a crazy scenario. 44 million views in the last 7 days, guys. So yeah, this will probably be her number one month. But did she need to grift? For what? When you're pulling an average of 50 million views a month, you don't need to grift. When you're averaging $400,000 in revenue a month, you don't need to grift to the degree of a murder of a person you had an association with. You don't. So I don't buy the Holocaust denier statements. We already researched that. That's the one reason I shouldn't listen to her, right? And I also don't buy this other reason that she's only talking about this and taking this stance on this Charlie Kirk deal and looking into it because she needed views. She's averaging 50 million views a month. She's averaging around $300,000 to $400,000 a month. And in this month alone, she'll probably clear $800,000. It'll probably be her biggest month she's had. And she's deserving of that, to go after the truth to this degree. That's the reason society and these propaganda makers and your sheep that are under your fucking psyops Oh, social media is so horrible. Oh, you know why? Because motherfuckers like me and Candace Owens and regular people can get on this sumbitch and fuck your narrative up. You just want to sleep in that bubble for the rest of your life, and you don't ever want it to get popped. Ever. We're bubble poppers. Everybody just wants to sleep in heavenly peace over this fucking Charlie Kirk bullshit and say this one guy shot him and there's no other way, and just go with the narrative. Fuck it all. Or just go to sleep and wake up and go to work and collect them taxes and send them in, boy. Sleep in heavenly peace. That's what they want you to do. Stay asleep. And when we got these fuckers like Ken saying, wake up. Wake up. You got Candace over here with her narrative. Wake up. This is not just sleep in heavenly peace shit. Pisses you off. Blame the internet. She's a grifter, a Holocaust denier, all these things. So, once again, the two reasons I've heard to not believe Candace Owens on anything she's saying right now: Holocaust denier, and she needs it. She needs the attention. She has to come back. She's fallen off the map. That's not what the stats say. That's not what the quotes say, in my opinion. So, she did just come out with a new video today. This new video is popping bubbles. I mean, we popped bubbles last week with the Israel stuff for a lot of our viewers. Breaking down AIPAC, breaking down paganism, which is kind of like, I'm not going to say that out loud. I think everyone educated heard the words there. We're on the same frequency, if that makes any sense. But today, she comes out and is proclaiming that the FBI apparently is pressuring Utah to drop any investigation, and they are trying to close the case. They have the one gunman, and that's who did it, and we need to close all avenues. No more investigation. This is it. Closed case. So this is what she had to say today on this topic, and this is very revealing as it goes into the situations not only of eyewitnesses that were there, but it also goes into the situation where the television screen and the news companies are telling you we got the killer, but the killer has yet to plead guilty. Very interesting here.
The FBI is putting an absurd amount of pressure right now on the authorities in Utah and also the rest of the government in Utah to come out and to say that the Charlie Kirk case is closed. They want it over. They want Charlie's assassination to be officially ruled lone gunman. It was a lone gunman that did that. Nobody else is involved. Now, why would they? Why would they want that? Right? What are they saying, at least to the authorities? Are they saying like, this is the reason? I'm sure they're not coming out and being honest or saying something that might ring truer to us, the public, which would be them saying, well, we know who did this and we want to protect those people, so close the case. What they're actually saying instead is essentially, if you don't close the case against Charlie Kirk and rule it a lone gunman, then it might mess up our prosecution against Tyler Robinson.
Right.
That feels a little bit to me like moral blackmail. Hey, man, we're not hiding anything, but we've got this guy, Tyler Robinson. If you don't close this case, then it might harm our chances of locking this guy up. Yeah, I am sure that they are being just moral. I'm sure they're telling the truth to the authorities. Now, I want to remind you guys, we should take a look at their current case against Tyler Robinson to see if we should accept this narrative, because currently there is absolutely no video which shows Tyler Robinson firing the weapon or even taking aim at Charlie Kirk. In fact, the individual who filmed the footage of the shooter on the roof, the lone video that exists of the shooter on the roof.
The video of the guy, hey, who's that up there on the roof? That's what she's referencing there.
Also told me that he doesn't think that Tyler Robinson is the guy. So how's that going to work for an eyewitness account? When he reported the shooter on the roof to Utah on the campus, he was clear that the person was wearing an entirely different outfit than the ones that they're currently trying to claim that Tyler wore on that day. Remember, Tyler was just supposed to be wearing a t-shirt and some jeans.
This is crazy.
He says, no, he was in tactical gear. The person that I saw was in tactical gear. Also, that eyewitness told me that that gun doesn't even match what I saw. And like I said, this individual definitively has experience with guns. He teaches people how to fire guns. So according to him and what he observed, if he's going to be brought into this court case that they're saying they want to, they want to bring charges against Tyler, he's going to testify and say, no, that doesn't look like the gun. That doesn't look like the person. So how's this going to work? Also,
this is good. This is where it gets even deeper.
According to the individual that told me this, regarding the feds trying to push for this case closure, the feds don't even have any footage that explains how exactly the rifle in particular got onto the roof. That stuns me. That's stunning information, right? Because all we have is, well, in the indictment, he dropped onto the roof at 12:15 p.m. Tyler Robinson just dropped onto the roof. I guess in our minds, we assumed on the basis of the picture that they released the sole picture or set of pictures from the same moment of him walking up the stairs. We assumed that he, like I said, stanky-legged it, the whole stanky leg all the way up onto the rooftop. That was our perception. But it turns out, according to my source, they don't know how the rifle got onto the roof. That's interesting. How are we bringing this to trial? Now, regarding
this is funny when you're so you're basically trying to garner so much conviction through mental, trying to bring so much mental conviction of this guy that when it goes to court and it goes to trial, because I believe she's about to reveal how this Tyler Robinson has not pled guilty. This guy that everyone is saying it and his dad is saying he did it. This guy, he has not pled guilty to this situation. We're going to go and look here in a second of what they got and what they're trying to say, but we're also going to show you the proof of that. But it seems like what she is explaining is they're trying to give so much mental conviction that a jury is not going to almost even hear evidence, that the mental conviction of this guy is the guy is going to trump every other possibility of what she's describing: trapdoors, inside jobs, Israel, fucking John Wick. It doesn't matter. This guy is the guy, and he killed this Charlie Kirk, and we all must cry and see him get executed publicly. Which, once again, and I'm going to bring it up. We brought up the paganism rituals. It happens every so often through our history. It is funny that we're almost 2,000 years to the date, almost in a few fucking years. We're almost 2,000 years to the date of Jesus' crucifixion and rising from the dead. We're almost 2,000 years to the date. It's very symbolic when you look into the numerology. But in these rituals, you have to sacrifice a young woman, a warrior, and innocent blood. Okay? What happened before the Charlie Kirk deal? The innocent woman on the train or bus. I believe it was a train. I tried to ignore that situation. It was very tragic. I didn't look into it and get all the details. But you had a young, innocent woman. Then you had a warrior in Charlie Kirk. And if this goes through, potentially, if it's him, if it's not, if it could be or couldn't be, if the emotional conviction and all that throws all the facts or possibilities out the door, and this guy, let's just say, for instance, in this situation, he is innocent, it was some other guy, it was some other job, then you have the third piece of the Trinity in these ritualistic operations. And nowadays you would call them operations. Back in the day, they're just status quo. This is what we do. Everybody knows. Fuck them. You could be, sacrificing for the blood gods, or you could be sacrificing for this god in this ritualistic way. This is how they did it for years. So anyway, they're trying to get to the point of jury where they don't care about it being innocent blood, so that the souls of humans decide to do it. It's no longer about the elites carrying out these things. It's about manipulating the souls to believe it, the souls to go with it. That's why it is literally spiritual warfare.
The bullets, the source says that it was too fragmented to match Tyler's rifle, so they don't have even the bullet. And let us not forget that Tyler himself has not confessed to anything. And that part also didn't make sense. They said they brought him in. Bill Ackman puts up $1 million. Tyler's dad gets the sheriff friend to come over, and they say he did it. And the police come and they bring him in. They bring Tyler Robinson in, but Tyler Robinson doesn't confess. So how did you arrest him? Does that make sense? How could you make an arrest if you didn't have a confession? You would have to have evidence, and the evidence can't be trust my dad, bro. You can't, if I just bring in a random person, if I say, oh, look, Skylar just committed this crime, and Skylar says, no, I didn't, and he doesn't confess, the police can't just make an arrest. You can just arrest Skylar. Nothing is making sense.
False accusation, innocent blood.
At all. It has not made sense from the very beginning, okay? And that's because the feds are involved. And I believe the feds know exactly what happened. In fact, I don't think it's a stretch of imagination when we examine history.
Examine history. War dogs.
To assume that they maybe even had some foreknowledge. Not everybody, obviously, because some people are trying to get the information out and are trying to figure out what happened. But we know that there are people that are a part of that apparatus who are terrible human beings, who we do not want ruling over us, and yet they do. So I'm just curious how exactly they believe they are going to convict Tyler Robinson on this. Oh, you know what? It's probably the Discord messages. I forgot, silly me. The Discord, I forgot he was so explicit. How could we forget? Oh, Lance, wherefore out thou, Lance?
Yeah, they're calling these text messages as Discord messages. Look how these things are written, by the way. I don't know if y'all can read these on the screen. I'll try to read them. It's kind of blurry even on my screen. It says, is this not Romeo and Juliet? Does this not sound theatrical? Literally. Have y'all read these? These are theatrical. Think about what I said earlier of what I believe politics are. All of this is theatrical. This is what these texts say that apparently are going to convict, are going to kill a person who is not pleading guilty. Listen to how this is written. I am still okay, my love, but am stuck for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home. But I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. What? Is this a South Park episode? I am still okay, my love. What? Shakespeare? The response is, you weren't the one who did it, art thou, Romeo? I am. I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person. No, they grabbed some crazy old dude. Then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point. What? I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out. But there's some vehicles There's one vehicle lingering. What? Why? Why did I? She said, why? He says, why did I do it? She says, yeah. He said, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. It sounds, I don't know if this is altered, whatever. She says, how long have you been, once again, this is very blurry even on my screen. How long have you been puzzling this? I think she says. He says, a bit over a week. You plan, think about the logic here. Think about the logic. You're going to kill someone that Donald Trump has said is one of the people responsible for him being elected, someone who is a large person in the world, somebody who is just like a celebrity. You're going to kill a celebrity. And you've only been puzzling this or thinking about this for a bit over a week. Really? Anyway, it says a bit over a week, I believe. I believe? Why are you explaining this in that way? I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. Why? These are unnatural messages. Let's not mention the guy could have got his Discord hacked into, especially if it's these people to this degree that are attempting to do these things. If John Wick, for instance, if John Wick wants to get away with it and frame you, I'm pretty sure John Wick has the connections to be able to log into your Discord account and send messages like this. Sounds very suspicious. He continues and says, I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried that my old man would do it I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back my grandpa's rifle. I don't know if it had a serial number. What? But it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the fuck will I explain losing it to my old man, which is the one convicting him publicly? The old man saying he did it. This man is not saying he did it. This is the only evidence they have. This is cringe. This whole entire scenario is cringe. This is the evidence that's going to kill this guy. Public execution on Facebook Live. You think they're going to let you all on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchats and all that? You think you think the system is going to publicly take down the young woman, publicly take down the warrior? You think they're not going to make you watch taking down the innocent man? If that's what's happening, I don't know for a fact, but that's the ritual. Go look up these rituals. This is the ritual. This is an actual ritual in history. Smart man who knows history and I don't. In history, real history, not fake history. Not written, owned, and controlled and bought and paid for one history, actual history. But regardless, This right here is the conviction. And the old man, his old man, is the one saying he did it, even though his own son is saying he didn't. And there's a lot of references to the old man in this text, this Discord text message, that apparently is going to convict this person and have them, once again, public innocent blood, or convicted. Maybe I'm all wrong. Maybe he is the guy who did it. Let's just say that I mean, that's fine. I mean, maybe I believe in these elitists, true elitists, but let's just say he's not. But they're gonna what I'm saying, they're gonna publicly fucking do this. If this motherfucker is convicted and put to the death penalty, which is what the prosecutors apparently want, they are gonna Facebook Live this shit. They are gonna have it on every news network. They're gonna have it on your phone, in your ear. They are going to suck you into this and put it in your fucking face, just like they did the woman, the young woman, just like they did the warrior, and just like they're doing this man. That's the goal. That's all I'm saying. That is going to be in front of you. And he's saying he's innocent. This piece of paper, this Discord chat is the key evidence of the prosecuting team to convict this that we're reading. I am still okay, my love. Theatric. After he said, how I explain it to my old man, only thing I left was the rifle wrapped up in a towel. Why would you tell your girlfriend or wife this in these kind of descriptive ways? That doesn't make any fucking sense. He's responding to her as if she's not even a person, to be honest. He said he planned it for a bit over a week. And now you're denying it, no guilt, but you only planned for a week? Remember how I was engraving bullets? The fucking messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notice bulge on Fox News, I might have a stroke straight. I'm gonna have to leave it. That really fucking sucks. Cringe messages.
Deny thy father and refuse thy name. And with thou wilt not lance the bullet. Me, my handprints, it was me.
It's funny that she just followed up with that same style that I didn't know she did. I haven't played this actual part. That is hilarious that she followed up with the same style as me.
It was me, my love. I did everything. I carved it. Do you remember, my love, when I was carving the bullets? Yes. Exactly this time is when I did it. And these are the reasons, my MAGA daddy, my love, thou wilt not, my love.
Theatrical.
Cool story. Very cool story.
I did not know she did that. I don't know. I feel the spirit is the same.
It's kind of feeling like Tyler's going to get off because they've got really nothing but prints. And from my sources, it's not the only set of prints that are on that gun. In fact, the only thing that I have heard that made sense, which did not come from our government, did not come from the feds, did not come from the Utah government, but rather from the people that are on the ground who believe that actually Tyler was just told to walk and drop off his gun at a neighboring house. That for some reason just feels like that might be honest, and that was how he participated in this event. But we'll see, because I'm not going to let this go. So we'll see if the feds tell us to just dismiss it, as they always do.
And she moves on to another subject there, but that is the update. I can't believe she actually did the Shakespeare Romeo game. That is where we're at. Once again, Tyler has not admitted guilt. This is the search results right here. When you go look them up, Tyler Robinson has not admitted guilt in the charges against him, despite allegations and evidence presented by prosecutors. Current legal situation: Tyler Robinson, charged with the aggravated murder of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, has not entered a plea in court. Prosecutors have filed multiple charges against him, including felony discharge of a firearm and obstruction of justice, and they are seeking the death penalty if he is convicted. Once again, they're going to show you. Refusal to admit guilt. Robinson has firmly refused to plead guilty, which some interpret as a sign of innocence, while others question his reasoning. Despite the prosecution's claims of incriminating text messages that we just read you, allegedly sent by Robinson on a Discord. First of all, it's on a Discord. You can log into a Discord. You can't log into the phone. I mean, you can. I mean, the CIA and these advanced code hackers, they could hack into your phone and send text messages and implant things and put photos in there and search histories and all kinds of crazy shit. They can do all they want to do. But it's a fucking Discord. Like, there's some fucking bums probably on 4chan that could hack your fucking Discord and send messages to people. Like, it's not like, this is not rocket science. It's just getting a login name and a fucking password. That sounds relatively easy. People do it on Facebook. Kenny Wallace got his fucking Facebook hacked. How do you think they did it? Very similar. So if some fucking guy in Nigeria can hack a Facebook, some random fuck with a little bit of intelligence can hack your Discord and send messages to somebody. Anyway, which suggests a confession. There is significant skepticism regarding the authenticity of these messages. Good, at least they put that in there. Implications of his stance. Robinson's refusal to admit guilt complicates his defense strategy. His legal team may pursue arguments related to extreme emotional distress to mitigate the charges against him, but the burden of proof lies with the defense. The case continues to develop, with Robinson remaining in custody and under scrutiny as the legal proceedings unfold. In summary, while there are allegations and evidence suggesting guilt, Tyler Robinson has not formally admitted to any wrongdoing in the ongoing legal case against him. So this is the facts. Now, when you go into the system, the propaganda machine, the Candace Owens is a Holocaust denier. New York Post, Tyler Robinson admitting Charlie Kirk murder in text messages with boyfriend, he's a gay, Lance Twiggs. Can his lover be charged with the crime? So now, mainstream news, once again, Holocaust denier. Oh my God, Candace Owens. Once again, we just sit here and we say, oh, questioning, maybe they use some propaganda on cutting people open and suing them and blah, 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 and sewing them up. And maybe they exaggerated these claims to make everybody hate Nazis. And they should have hate Nazis. Nazis were horrible people. But I'm just saying, that's the leaps that New York Post goes. No, those comments turn into Holocaust denier. Same application. It's almost like they're a system. It's like a system. We just read the text. We just went through all this stuff. Tyler Robinson hasn't even admitted guilt. There's question marks there on if he's going to get charged maybe, or he's going to actually get, place guilt. No. Mainstream media don't just stay there. No. Not just at the actual quotes of the situation. No. Mainstream media, the system, the propaganda machine jumps all the way now. Are they going to charge the boyfriend? No. He's already fucked. Oh, no. He's the one. No, he did it. No other fucking trap doors. No other operations. No other way. No. He already did. No, we got him. No. Is the fucking boyfriend going to get charged now with a crime? No. You ain't got to worry about him. He's locked up. We're sacrificing the blood in front of everybody. What about the boyfriend now? The one on the other end of those fucking Discord text messages, he's going to get it too, motherfucker. Oh, yeah, we already know. We already know. Holocaust denier. 100%. Oh, 100%. That's how the system operates. That's how propaganda operates. That's the show today. We're going to go into the chat real quick. We're going to use the restroom very quick. What song's best right now? We're going to give Ripper a little bit of a shout out. How about some Carson Macedo? We'll be right back. Put your comments on the screen. Put your damn comments on the screen.
Keto, and they can growl about it. Lonely like old bro Joe. Cartel gonna care for me, not you, cause I'm the CEO. I'm here to fight, look in the sink with my torpedo. I'm just a lap dog trying to survive. Running in the back, fearing my life. Cause there's a black 2041 guy adding to the junk in the field with some white on white crimes. Or is it 99 maybe? I don't give a damn, but the bank statements lately adding up through the junk that the crazy man's making. Reckon her, reckon him, non-binary maybe, who knows? If I don't like him, I slide him like Carson Macedo. And they can growl about it, lonely like old bro Joe. Cartel gonna care for me, not you, cause I'm the CEO. I'm here to fight, look in the sink with my torpedoes. Carson Macedo. And I don't know where we go from here and what we think about it, but it seems to me, gotta be about it. Time for talk and speak comes across as weak, especially when dotting I's and crossing T's. It seems to be what they all want and what they need. And then you'll go, oh, oh no, just like them cars. Down when he goes, and they get to finally feel like Carson Macedo. If I don't like him, I slide him like Carson Macedo. And they can growl about it, lonely like old bro Joe. Cartel gonna care for me, not you, cause I'm the CEO. I'm here to fight, look in the sink with my torpedoes. Carson Macedo.
We're back. We're back. How's the Carson Macedo guys work for y'all? How did the Carson Macedo show work for y'all? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show. Do y'all have any comments? Chaz, FBI reports nothing to investigate. We got him red-handed, and we'll move on like we will move on like minions. Yes, 100%, 100%. What were y'all even saying during the show? You were probably just listening. I do enjoy education. I do enjoy telling people things. I do enjoy showing people things. I do enjoy intelligence. I do not, I've kind of been in a funk here because I feel like I've been lifting off the throttle on some topics and some things I want to discuss. And I feel almost disingenuous to myself if I just get on this show and I talk about racing at this point. Because, I'll talk about racing when it matters. But we just got bigger fucking things going on right now, man. And I feel like it would be disingenuous to myself if I got on this platform that I built over the years and I don't say what I think and say what I feel. That's what it's always been about. And the thing, or saying what's on my mind. And I feel like a lot of the things that's on my mind right now recently with all the things happening and that I'm seeing and witnessing and researching and looking into, it don't have to do with racing much. It just don't. When it does, like the Rico, Tony Stewart deal, I get on here and I throw a relationship away with Tony Stewart potentially. I mean, I would assume that Tony Stewart does not want to watch or listen or talk to me ever again. You know, I would assume that Rico was never going to talk to me again. You know, I would assume Donny Schatz, even though we had our phone call, I still went after him the next show because it's what I feel, it's what's on my mind, it's what I think. So, I mean, I just destroyed 3 relationships with some of the people y'all would just, I guess, get on your knees and suck penis to be involved with. I just, that's not how I operate. That's not how I operate. You know, if I feel something, I think something, I put it on my platform that I built that is a platform to free your mind. And obviously leaders are the influence. So if I get on here and I fake it, and I get on here and I don't say what I think and what I feel, then anyone watching my shows or in taking my content, y'all shouldn't either. So I feel like I have a duty to y'all as people and to myself to just get on here and say whatever the fuck I think, whatever the fuck's on my mind, whatever I feel, because that's what I would hope y'all would start doing in your own lives as well. So if I want to influence, I try to be the one that walks what I talk or tries to lead by example more so than anything. So I'm not going to get on here and be an example of anything but that, if that makes sense. It's why Jeremy Elliott and Dirt Tracker disagree with the Chaz, because he adds a twist. I don't want to segment myself. I don't want to degrade myself. I don't want to get on here and be anything but truthfully honest and real, no matter how much that could benefit me or no matter how much that could not benefit me. It does not benefit me in any kind of way to burn a bridge with Tony Stewart, to burn a bridge with Rico Abreu, to burn a bridge with Donny Schatz. But it's how I feel. I would rather Tony Stewart, Rico Abreu, or Donny Schatz accept me for who I am and what I think and what I feel. I don't want to be accepted by my fans, my followers, my watchers, Tony Stewart, Rico Abreu, or Donny Schatz by a fake me. If they like a fake me, then they don't even like me. I hate fake people. I hate fake people. So I try to emulate as real as I can be. That's how I have real relationships. That's how I'm staying here at Sean's. That's how I have people who will go to the extremes in the gutters and fight with me, because I don't have fake fucking friends. I don't have fake people. Even my ex-relationship, even though it went bad and south, she was a real motherfucker 80% of the time. She just got that 20% woman in her. You know what I'm saying? I'm just fucking around, but I don't have fake fucking relationships with men, with women, with God, with Tony Stewart, with Rico, with Donny Schatz. I don't have, with you, I don't have fake fucking relationships. And that's because I've risked the realness. It is risky to be a real motherfucker. Like Charlie Kirk. You go out there, you real, you are who you are in front of the world, you get ousted. Once again, y'all are already manipulated into insecurity. You put on a fake persona on most of your lives. Everyone out there, I would say 80, 90% of the society in the world, especially America, goes out 9 to 5 in front of the world, lunch, drive-throughs, Starbucks, your job, your boss, your sisters, your brothers, your friends, some of you, even your husbands and wives, and you put on a fake fucking face and don't even let people know how you feel. You lie to them every fucking day. You're being fake. I'm not. And I hope to influence more people to not be. Because I think the only way you have real connections, real relationships, real love is with base level honesty. base level transparency. Is that easy to obtain? No. The flock of sheep reject you so bad. But the relationships you're going to develop or to have developed by losing the acceptance, appreciation, and relationship with 100 sheep, you're going to gain the relationship of 10 lions. And those 10 lions are way more valuable than them sheep. It's just a problem in today's world because the sheep are very loud. So you got to be able to handle the criticism. You got to be able to handle them calling you a loser, calling you this, calling you ugly, calling you short, calling you're an asshole, calling you didn't have to say that, saying it wasn't a business right move. You're not going to make no money. You're a loser. You've lost this. You've lost that. It's not ever going to be easy because the devil makes it hard. The devil, the darkness. A lot of motherfuckers living in 50 Shades of Gray. You come out full white. Even if that hat's backwards. It's a hard path to walk. Can you walk through that valley or not? That's the question. And if you can't, then you can't. It's fine. It's easy. It's easy. It's way easier to be a part of the herd. Way easier. Anyway, that's our closing thoughts. I'm seeing some comments. PMG, bang on, you are correct. He's on the list. I don't know what the list is. Freedom is being oneself. Yes, exactly. Iowa girl said, oh, got it. Tyler Brooks, Sean and Connie, real, trust me. They are part of my knit over 15 years. All right. He's on the OG list. Chaz, don't change. Iowa girl said, thank you. What's your ASL? I don't know if you know what that is, Iowa girl, but hey, we're single down here in Knoxville, Iowa. We'll drive. I'm just saying, let me know. Got them DMs open 24/7. Hey, a lion ain't a dog, but sometimes those kitties be in heat. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, Misha will report to Tony, but Rico will win, so no problem. Oh, God. I don't even know who Misha is. Who is Misha? I don't know. Where's those super chats? Can we get a super chat for the night's over? One super chat. Can we get one super chat? I'm going to make one drink. Hold on. Let's give you a song. What about Malibu Barbie? What about Malibu Barbie? This was one of the most famous songs I did at the beginning of my singing career, Malibu Barbie. People love this song. It's about me driving a race car that was purple and pink. They nicknamed the car Malibu Barbie, so I made a song about it. We're going to stay. We're not going to get off here until we get a super chat. Not until we get a super chat. Let's play Malibu Barbie here. And I'm going to make a drink while Malibu plays. We'll be right back. And we'll try to talk y'all out of some of your fucking money. All right, here we go. Malibu Barbie's on deck. Let's see. Hold on. We got to restart it. Here we go. The bottom or top of the cars that I cross, yeah, I'm gonna need you. Let me show you where to go, how to run it in hot, and what it leads to. I promise that the show I'm gonna put on will really please you. Come Junior 80 out, Barbie doll on the spot, come see me, Malibu. And I don't care if they speak a lot. They're different breed with little need you, they're not my type. Cause see to me, there's a sea of green and it's harvest time. And you're the sweetie pea, you're the body bee, come with me, Malibu. And they can have all the seeds they want. But see the pea, special to me, go to lie, nah. But come June 6, we gotta giddy up this pony ride. Of me and you, a dream come true on the Bailey side. Pacific time, southern kind, and that Barbie Malibu. And I need you in the darkest times. When the current's strong, the moon is wrong, when the winds are right. When the lights are dim and we lose the trim and we're in a fight. Just hold your breath on the edge of death, stay with me, Malibu. And I know that you need me too. The world is mean, they're preying on the beginning bruise. But see with me, I broke the bull and married the truth. No parachute, so cut the cord of all to me, Malibu. I'm on top of the course that I cross, yeah, I'm gonna need you. Let me show you where to go, how to run it in hard and what it leads to. I promise at the show I'm gonna put on what really please you. Come to any yacht, Barbie doll on the spot, come see me, Malibu. I'm on top of the course that I cross, yeah, I'm gonna need you. Let me show you where to go, how to run it in hard and what it leads to. I promise at the show I'm gonna put on what really please you. Come to any yacht, Barbie doll on the spot, come see me, Malibu. There's a bottom or top of the course that I cross, yeah, I'm gonna need you. Let me show you where to go, how to run it in hard and what it leads to. I promise at the show I'm gonna put on what really please you. Come tune to any yacht, Barbie doll on the spot, come see me, Malibu. That is such a good song, bro. I'm telling you, that is such a good song. Sorry, I was listening to it on my phone. I was listening to it. I did see we had some super chats. Guy Kane Shiro, how are we saying this? Aloha from Hawaii. I've actually been to Hawaii. Hawaii saved me. When I flew back from Australia, I did not want to do the direct flight, but I was looking for a cheap flight back, and my visa was expiring in like 8 days. And I was like, fuck, how do I get out of the country? And I was like, wait, because they were all like $1,000 to get one way out. I was like, all I have to do is check back into the United States. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. What's a flight from Gold Coast to Hawaii? And then a flight from Hawaii back to Omaha, which is where my car was staying at Jack Dover's race shop. Looked into it. $250 flight to go to Hawaii. Looked into it. $200 flight to go from Hawaii to Omaha. Or it was like $275, something in there. It was like $500 to go to Hawaii. I stayed there 3 days. I did not stay in y'all's expensive fucking ass hotels, which are like $400 a night. But I did stay in a hostel, which was basically like a jail cell. I stayed in a hostel. It wasn't that bad, but I stayed in a bunk bed for 3 days at a hostel on Waikiki Beach, most beautiful beaches in the world. I went all over Australia. The beach I saw in Waikiki Beach was unbelievable, beautiful, unbelievable. Went to Pearl Harbor, went and did karaoke one night, went and hung out real late at the bars one night with these people I had met. It was a very enjoyable experience for a relatively cheap price. I think the hostel was only like $40 a night or $30 a night. It was very cheap. Tip for some of you guys, the hostel people, like my bunkmate was like a 19-year-old German chick. She was very nice, very pretty. It was a hell of a better woman to come home to than a logical relationship in today's society, to be honest. But it wasn't creepy. It wasn't cringe. Everybody was just there to have a good time. So Hawaii actually saved me because I saved around $500 and I didn't have to ride in a plane for fucking 16 hours. I think the ride from Australia to Hawaii was 8 hour. I think that was an 8-hour flight. And then the flight from Hawaii back to Omaha, it went to Dallas first, which I believe was a 6-hour flight. and then the flight from Dallas to Omaha was about 2.5. So, I mean, that just made it so much more enjoyable. If I ever go back to Australia, I'm definitely going to try to find a way, a possibility to cut it in half with a Hawaii stop. If it's cheaper or not, I'm not sure. But say it costs $200 or $300 more to go to Hawaii for a day or two, and then go to Australia, and then come back and to Hawaii for a day or two, and then come back to America. That is worth $200 or $300, in my opinion. Any way you can avoid a straight fucking flight from America to Australia, avoid that shit at all costs. I have been to jail. I'm a bad boy because I'm bad, just like the song said. Avoid that flight. It's worse than jail. In my opinion, it's worse than going to jail. Because in jail, you can get up, sit down, move around, just kind of sitting there. No, you got to go and get naked and change into the clothes and all that stuff. But still, you're just chilling. In that fucking airplane, though, you're sitting next to an old motherfucking lady that if you touch her arm, she makes you feel like a piece of shit. You got fucking babies crying and screaming throughout the backside of the airplane. You ain't going to sleep. If you ain't sitting in an aisle row, if you got to pee or something, you got to wake old grannies up and this guy or that guy and disturb the fucking peace. They guilt trip you like you're the worst motherfucking thing to ever exist in the humanity of the world to just go and pee. When you're in jail, you just get up and go pee. You don't tell nobody. You're hungry. You ask for some water or something. Not in these fucking planes, buddy, for 16 fucking hours. You're dealing with the most evil people in the world. And that is the sheeple. And these fucking sheeple don't like it when you touch their elbow accidentally. They don't like it when you gotta go pee. They guilt trip you. They gaslight you to fucking death. So if you can avoid the direct flights, any flight over 10 hours, I never want to take it ever again in my life. Ever. Any flight over 8 hours. 8 hours was still a stretch. I'm not doing a flight over 8 hours ever again in my life. I'm not doing it. If they want to send me to Mars or the moon or Venus or Jupiter, whichever of these flat Earth islands, if they want to take me outside the ice wall, I'll do it. To these, because the other moons or these other planets are not necessarily planets; they're just reflections off of the dome. They're circular because it's a reflection. I hope y'all know this. It's like these are other islands throughout our plateau, so they reflect off of the dome, and it looks like a circular Jupiter and Saturn and moon and all that. These are just other areas. That's why they call them the dark side of the moon. The dark side of the moon is the reflection side, the other side of the moon. That's the symbolic thing in that. But regardless, I don't want to get into, Saturn and Jupiter and sun moons and oh God, I really don't want to get into Cyclops. Technically, Cyclops is very, very powerful. But yeah, never doing the direct flight. So Hawaii saved my life. Anyway. Nowhere better in the world to be than Knoxville, Iowa, the Chaz. Oh, I strongly disagree. Strongly. There's so many places better to be in the world than Knoxville, Iowa, except during the Knoxville Nationals and a few other select events, race nights, Sunday through Friday. I'll even say Sunday through Saturday at 3:30, 4 o'clock. There are so many better places to be in the world than Knoxville, Iowa. It is a horrible, horrible place to live, in my opinion. They got the little nice square. I'm not hating on the little community. there's better places to be. Des Moines is better. I mean, Vegas is better. PA is better. Harrisburg or Daytona Beach or Nashville or Indianapolis or Chicago or Minneapolis or where people exist. Where people exist and go out and have fun and communal gatherings or anything. Decorah, Iowa is better. I mean, at least they have a fucking bowling alley. I'm just fucking saying. No, Knoxville, it's in the heart of America. There is nothing in the heart of America. Yeah, Pella. Hey, still, there's better places than Pella too. I'm just saying. Nerang, Queensland, Australia is better than Knoxville, Iowa. Just saying. Nerang is better than Knoxville. They have a fucking floaty park on the water in the ocean. I'm just saying. Anyway, we're just over the 2-hour mark. 2-hour show tonight. Ever think about riding an ostrich? No. Knoxville has a badass Comes coming up. Corn maze. Sorry. Corn maze. I would like to explore Hawaii a little more, guy. I really would. It seemed like a cool island. I got subjugated on Waikiki Beach. I didn't have my vehicle. I was having to Uber. Or actually, one day I used the bus. I actually took the bus to go to Pearl Harbor. But there's a lot of areas around Waikiki Beach, apparently, or Hawaii in general, the islands. I'd like to get back there. If you want to chauffeur me around or show me, I know I've heard y'all had a dirt track at one point. Y'all don't have dirt track racing. Y'all had sprint cars and stuff, apparently. Y'all don't have them anymore. But that would be a cool thing. Imagine a sprint car race in Hawaii. Like, imagine if High Limit did Hawaii. High Limit in Hawaii. That would be such a cool thing if you could pull it off. But it would be extremely badass. It's paradise, but expensive. Yeah, I mean, I got out early, cheap enough doing the hostel stay. I was able to afford it, and I didn't really like splurge and go to all the shows. But I don't feel like it was much more expensive than California or anything like that. Who's your pick Saturday? They're trying to revive the racing scene in Hawaii. You need to do it by bringing the World of Outlaws or High Limit there. It would be very hard, but it would be extremely marketable. You just need the government on your side. Who's your pick Saturday at World of Outlaws at Sharon? I'm going. Okay, so this is it. This is what I'm thinking. This is honestly what I'm thinking. It's gonna sound crazy. It's gonna sound nuts. I think that the world operates in storylines and momentum. The world doesn't allow you to keep getting beat down without you swinging back. I think that there is a story of a driver coming back to a new team with his lifelong road buddy friend who just got smashed, dragged, slapped in the face by the biggest names in Tony Stewart and Rico Abreu and Ondell Jr., and he's over the hill and all this criticism. I think that Donny J. Schatz is going to win the World of Outlaw event at Sharon. It's one of those tracks where if it goes slick enough, you can float the track old school style. You have the new partnership with JVI Group. JVI is Illuminati. You have Jason Sides the friend. You have the criticism. You have the buildup. You have one side beating one up. And this motherfucker's coming out this next round this weekend. I think Donny Schatz is going to come in there. It may be something special. It may be he starts 10th and drives up and shows some shot shit. I think Donny Schatz is winning at Sharon this weekend, debuting in his new team with his buddy, the Ponytail Express, Jason Sides. That's who I think's going to do it. That's the storyline. That makes theatrical sense. Sheldon or Blaney? I don't know. I think Donny. I think Donny. I think that's where the storyline goes. I think that's theatrical. That's just theatrical. It's going to work. Exactly, Dank Dank. That would be great for the sport, right? Exactly. Exactly. And there's a lot of things happening this year that are good for the sport. Speaking it into existence is step one. We did it with David Gravel in 2019 with Exalta and Jeff Gordon coming back. I saw the theatrics. I called it 5 months in advance. It happened. The fix is in year. I think this is the fix of the week. That is the fix of the week. He may even get it done at Millstream. He may go back to back. Millstream is a fucking dust bowl too. That's Schatz' wheelhouse. If Donny Schatz only raced Ohio racetracks like all year long, he might like win every fucking race that Ohio ever had. Seriously, because they just get into dust storms. I feel like dust storms is where Donny wins. He's like, we should start nicknaming Donny Schatz Desert Storm. The 15 car Desert Storm Donny Schatz. If it's a fucking slick fucking dust bowl, I think Donny Schatz is like one of the best drivers in the world. Depends on if Sheldon or Sharon is juiced up or not. If Sharon is not juiced up and is slick, Desert Donny showing up. Desert Donny can have a chance. But if Sharon is hooked up on the cushion on the wall, like the outlaw race I went to, it was hooked up, I don't think Donny's going to get it done. There's no way. It's just not his style. It's not his style. But if it's a dust bowl, if Millstream's a dust bowl, if Sharon's a dust bowl at Ice Rink, Desert Storm's coming. You said it's been raining all week? Mm-mm. I mean, Sharon gets hard, though. It just depends on how much they work the track and dig it up and actually put moisture into the surface. Anyway, I think we're going to close her down, guys. I know we didn't have big numbers tonight, but we had a big message. The message is what matters more than anything. We're going to be, tomorrow I'm going to be working on clipping this up and putting it into, forums to put across the different platforms, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. So be looking forward to little short clippets, 10-minute videos, 5-minute videos, 3-minute videos from this show today. I do all that myself. So I sit here, I wake up in the morning, I go to work. So we'll see what we could do tomorrow, put some stuff together and potentially have something on. Who wins first, Donny or Kerry Madsen? I think that Donny Schatz is going to win this weekend at Sharon. Or Millstream. It could be either one. Whichever one of those Ohio. Once again, if Donny Schatz just ran Ohio racetracks all year, he'd dominate. He'd win every fucking race there was, I think, personally. But I think Donny's going to win a race this weekend. That's what I think. I think the story, the theatrics say that's going to happen. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully y'all enjoyed the show tonight. A little bit different. The white hats backward. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you like it. Anyways, be sure to subscribe if you haven't. I feel like everyone watching is right now. Share the video and videos around when I post them. It literally does help, reaches new people with what we do here. New people is what we're after. Hopefully shows like this do open the doors to other people, other audiences who are maybe in the political spectrum like the entire world seems to be right now. And then they get exposed to dirt track racing and they're like, wow, just like Joe Rogan used all the political and aliens and conspiracy theories. He got all these people in with Joe Rogan's show. And then he talked about how much he loved UFC and MMA and fighting. And he integrated all these new people into the UFC based on dragging them in by talking about real world topics. And then when he expressed how he loved this MMA thing, it brought all those people into that world. See what I'm doing here? But I love it either way because I'm just being honest. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. We will catch y'all next time. All the super chatters, thank you. And maybe we'll see you in Hawaii soon with a race car. Who knows? Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Catch you next time.
Ride anywhere we need to go. We can ride all night up to the morning, as long as we make the show. We can be the best or we can be the worst. We can be the best thing you ever heard. With the motor singing and the grandstands ringing, it's hard to put it all in words. But this is how we ride, this is how we do. Riding mud, sliding up higher in the groove. Don't give a damn about the cash we're spending. The time we got, we choose to play it on the go, to stay out on the run. We all high, wild, and some. Ain't telling you what's right or wrong or what to choose. Hey, but this is how we do. This is how we do. Out on the dirt ovals we play. The bright